Hey folks, Dr. Rowe here. I couldn't resist doing this quick video. I'm just looking around a house here and I've forgotten the flip chart was here. And the flip chart, basically, the builders have just moved it. And what's on the flip chart, I mean, talk about synchronicity with what I've been doing today, is a symbol from my Communicating with Impact whole program that we put together a few years ago, you, them environment. And I just wanted to share something with you that, and I genuinely believe this, you know, if there was one thing right now, bearing in mind where we're at, you know, we're still in the heart of COVID, looking ahead for the future, what's one thing that you could do to increase your income in the future? Without a doubt, it is upping the skill levels in your communication, without a freaking shadow of a doubt. If you go out into the marketplace and you look at some of the most inspiring people, if you look at the wealthiest people that are out there, if you look at celebrities, if you look at entrepreneurs, if you look at the people out there that have achieved any high level of success, and by the way, that success doesn't even have to be monetarily, but for a lot of people it does fall into that category. I look and I asked myself the question years ago, what is a common feature with these people? And outside of the mindset and lots of subtle, what we would call soft skills, but I don't think they are soft skills because a lot of people overlook them, is their ability to communicate what is going on in their head and their heart externally to the outside world. It's one thing to think something and feel it. Think about the most inspiring books you've ever actually read. Think about the most inspiring movie that you've ever watched. Every one of those was about how that message was communicated to you, how you just sat there and went, fuck. You know, tears, joy, ecstasy, frustration, anger, all the emotions going up and down. All of that was down to communication. And for a lot of people, they just, I mean, I was the same, don't understand what that system is. How do I do it? How can I actually get that in place and make it happen? And that's why I developed the CWI program. So I think my message here is, if you're wanting to increase your revenue, if you're wanting to bring more income in over these next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, looking ahead, every one of you's got a book inside you, every one of you's got an audio program inside you, every one of you's got the ability to coach, to share, to help, to inspire, to run webinars, to do online videos and things like this. All of you can do that. And there is a way to monetize that as well. There are systems for business online, etc. And if you haven't watched or listened to our recent podcast, I think we did that about 2 podcasts back. Online business, I think they covered something like, well, they talked about 300 ways to generate business online. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that podcast with myself and Harminder, www.growthtribes.com, and go and look at the podcast, or go and find us on Spotify or on iTunes. So, what's my point? My point is this: if you can increase your skill level, if you can find techniques, all the stuff that I do even here on our live, there's a very specific, you might not think it, you might think Rose just randomly doing a message. No, there's actually a sequence, a structure. It's just mapped out in my head how I do it. And if you watch and break it down, somebody that knows the system, if you were to sit down with me on the CWI event and I just said, right, let's take that video I just did there randomly off the cuff. Let's break it down. Look at the components. Look at what I'm doing. I'm using that technique, that component, that component, all stitched together. But how did you do that? It's just a system. You just have to learn the system. So this is a message and a shout out to anyone that's booked onto our CWI event that was supposed to be in June that's been moved back now. You are in for a serious treat, because we've just made a decision this afternoon that we're going to give you something really special over the next 4 or 5 weeks, which is not out in the public space at the moment. So look out for that. And for those of you that are actually thinking, okay, I want to improve my skills in business, I want to learn to speak publicly, I want to do what he's doing on a camera, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this, I can tell you this is a major challenge for most people. Picking up a camera, videoing. I just been watching for a little bit of fun American Idol. I wanted to see, because I get inspired by people's journeys and stories. So we watched a little bit the other night. And at the moment, it's really interesting to see the difference in how somebody is more comfortable than somebody else on camera. So in one environment, they can talk and communicate, but in another environment, they can't. When I used to run the CWI events up until last year before we had a break, and now we're going back live with them, obviously, after COVID, what I found was there's some really smart people who could communicate with me. They could even get them on stage. But as soon as I put a camera in their hand and said, right, imagine you're doing something for Instagram, imagine you're doing something for social media, imagine you're creating a product for online, they struggled on a camera. I know some really good speakers who I've even helped train, who's generated hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds worth of revenue who, when I've asked them to do a quick video on camera, they've gone, and they've got the angle wrong. It's too dark, it's too close. They're not sure how to script it and how to get the wording right. It's an incredibly powerful skill. Master that and you will increase your income without a doubt. In fact, professional speaking is one of the highest paid professions in the world. But put that aside, bring it into your business, and you're going to increase your revenue in your business as well. So learn the skill. And, for now, those of you that are, even remotely interested in this, I would definitely go to my Instagram page. I think it's at drrowe.tv, but you can go look me up on Instagram. And I've actually got some really short 1-minute videos there on the 38 components of communication. Even if you watch that, it's like 40 minutes of watching. You might go, oh God, that's a great one. Well, let me try and use that one. Let me bring that one in. Let me integrate that one. Because who's to say that one technique won't win you another angel investor? Who's to say that one technique won't get you a better pay rise? Who's to say that one technique won't get you a better customer by just using that? So start working on this. Communication is absolutely essential. I know I haven't got any dates yet and I haven't been promoting it very much recently, but we do have our CWI event coming up once we're at the back end of COVID, and it's still on and I'm super excited. And for those of you that have already registered, you're in for a real treat, but look out for it. We're going to mail you privately over the next coming weeks. Anyway, for now, sign out, communicate with impact, learn to master the skill. It will absolutely be a game changer for you.